They say genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. But what happens when the genius gets tired of perspiring and his driver decides to take the stage? This is the story of Albert Einstein and the world's most confident driver. In the 1920s, Einstein was traveling all over the world, giving the same lecture on the theory of relativity. His faithful driver, Hans, sat in the back of every hall, listening to every single word. One evening, while driving to the next university, Einstein sighed and said, "Hans, I'm exhausted. I've said these same words so many times I think I could recite them in my sleep." Hans smiled and replied, "You know, Professor, I've heard your lecture so many times that I bet I could give it for you." Einstein laughed. He loved a good joke. Since this university didn't know what he looked like, they decided to swap clothes. Hans put on the famous wig and suit, and Einstein put on the driver's cap. The lecture was perfect. Hans delivered the theory of relativity with passion. The audience was amazed. But then, as he prepared to leave, a professor stood up and asked a very complex question about the mathematical constant in a non-Euclidean vacuum. The room went silent. Einstein, sitting in the back, started to sweat, but Hans didn't blink. He looked the professor in the eye and said calmly, "That is such a simple question, Professor, that I'm actually surprised you asked it. In fact, it's so simple that I'm going to let my driver in the back answer it for you." And that is how Einstein saved the day from the back of the room. Sometimes, the smartest thing you can do is have the right team behind you. Stay jolly and see you in the next banter.